1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we are live. Okay, guys. Okay. So good evening, everybody, wherever you're watching. Welcome to the third day of this conference. It's been amazing. First day, second day. I try as much as possible to share with you what I have been practicing, or the things that I found so much valuable that have helped me and still do help me to work, achieve my goals. And I've been able to share a bit of that with you. Today I'll be concluding on that, but I wanted to also hear from you. It's not about me talking, me sharing, but also whether what the things I'm saying are actually making sense to you, whether you're putting them into practice, and what as you're doing that, what are the results you are getting, whether you have any challenges, you have any questions or anything like that. I would like to hear, I want to know about that today, and then see how best I can help that with that. So that is why we have some Q&A in this last session. After that, I'm going to be sharing with you the productivity tips that I have to share with you today. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to quickly take there are some questions from yesterday. I'm going to take them first. After that, then let me see whether I can find those questions from yesterday. Some people asked some questions yesterday. I want to find that. Okay, let me go back to yesterday's video and see whether I can find that. But if you are here, you can hear me. Let me know in the comment section, please. If you can hear me, let me know. I can see some people joining. So comment section, let's know whether you are here. You can hear me. Let me know in the comment section, please. And please start dropping your questions if you haven't already. Thank you. Okay. All right. Some people ask questions just about the time I was about to shut down, and I want to recall that and then answer those questions right now. Okay. Where are these questions? Unfortunately, I was not able to, they were not captured in, they were not captured in the feed, but I saw the questions before I went off. Unfortunately, they were not captured in the video, right? They were not captured here. But if you can drop those questions again, I'll be really, really glad, because I couldn't access, there was no other way for me to access the video from my end here unless I use the link and I made a mistake yesterday. So the video is not even on YouTube for you to see on my YouTube videos. So you have to use the link. Only those who have the link will be able to access the video. That was what I did yesterday. So if you asked a question late yesterday, please ask again. I'll be glad to answer the question. So thank you very much, Aziz, for joining. Oluwaseun said loud and clear. Thank you very much. Lawrence Obiri said I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you for joining. And also Richard Tete said, please, I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, so I know who exactly is using Richard Tete's phone. All right, so thank you very much, sis, for joining as well. Guys, that's my sister, my big sister. So thank you very much, Sister Marilyn, for joining. So some people actually asked some questions on WhatsApp. I want to fetch that right now I think that question, like if I want to answer the question in full, Kofi is here. He asked some questions on WhatsApp, and those questions are kind of going to take our time. He asks a lot, okay, and so that is really, really some excellent questions over here. I'm going to go into that. Yeah. So let me start with Kofi's questions. Um, he said whether the meanwhile, if you also have your question, please you can drop them in the comments as I attend to Kofi's questions. Right. The first thing he asked was um, vision and mission statements. What are they? Then the second thing was about business mindset hacks. The third thing is about visibility and authority. Then the last thing is about productivity enhancement. He also wanted to know about whether there's a difference. He heard about vision board yesterday. I didn't go really in on vision board because vision board normally it had to be a bit more practical. And I was just giving you an idea of how it is done so you can go and do it. But once I get into this question, I'm going to go deeper into vision board and all of that. You wanted to know whether there's a difference between vision board and vision. And there is a vast difference, okay? Although there's the same word over there, they are two different things, okay? So we want to get into the question first. And as I want to remind you also, if you have a question, please drop it in the comment, or you can send them to me on WhatsApp. For if you want to be private, if you don't want me to mention your name, if it's a personal question, you can ask and I won't mention your name. I'll answer it anonymously. I'll keep your name out of it. And if that's what you want, let me know. So vision and mission statements, right? What are they? These are typical in company situations. When you have a company, you normally have a vision statement, you have a mission statement. That is very important. Normally, a vision statement is not about the now. It's where the organization or the person sees him or herself, or the organization sees themselves in the long term, right? Vision is not about now. Vision is more about where you see yourself. So normally, firms will be like to be the leading provider of so and so service in Africa. That is more like a vision statement. All right. So to be the leading so and so, or to be so and so, or to become so and so in so and so place, or to provide so and so. I mean, okay. Mr. Dubai is back. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for joining, Mr. Tete, and the entire family. Right. So, guys, that one is a family issue, right? My family people are here. All right, so let's so we're talking about vision. Vision is much bigger, right? It's long term. So a vision statement should capture where you see yourself as an individual in a very long term. So this will be like more than 10 years. That's practically what a vision should capture. All right. Then a mission statement is more about the purpose of an organization, the purpose of the human being, or the purpose, what you exist for and what you are doing now, okay, or what you want to be engaged in to achieve that vision. So you want to be a leading service provider, or you want to be a leading marketing agency, or you want to be a leading coach or consultant, business consultant, or one of the best consultants, in Ghana, in Africa. Then you also want to outline your mission. Mission is like assignment, what exactly you're going to be doing, right? So the reason you exist, or what exactly you are going to be doing in order to make that vision a reality. So whilst vision is more of a long-term thing, mission focuses on the path you have to take in order to get your vision accomplished, right? So that is about vision and mission statement. Personally, it is good to have a vision and mission statement. I have done one for 10 years. I was coached by one of the prominent speakers in this country back in 2017, Reverend Albert Okran. He did a conference with us, and then he led us to do that. And so I've developed a vision statement and mission statement. That was 3 years ago, and the whole plan was for 10 years. Okay, so it's a very good thing to do. You have a vision statement for yourself, a mission statement for yourself, okay, to guide yourself in a particular journey in life. Then I'll move on from that. If you're not clear about what I said, you can still ask follow-up questions, right? Anybody that's always not unclear, please follow up, because you're running up today and I want to go deep on question and answers today. So please feel free and ask questions, right? So the second thing is business mindset hacks. Business mindset hacks. So some of the things I can share with you when it comes to business, or some hacks that you must have as a business person or going into business, is that first thing I will say is that you are in business primarily to offer solutions. If you are in business to, the primary purpose to is to, you are trying to make money, right? Now, don't get me wrong, you are in business to make money, but if that is all you care about, you are eventually not going to be making money, right? So at the back of your mind, you are in business to make money, but what you put in front is solution. What you put in front, nobody, see, the thing is that people will be repelling from you, all right? People will not want to give you their money if all they know, or you make them understand by your behavior that all you want is their money and you don't care about providing solutions for them. But if you care about providing solutions for them, what they will actually do is that they will be willing to give you more than you're even charging. There are people who tell me, or some people who even I don't ask, they call me and send me airtime, right? Say thank you very much for this you have done for me. I mean, I got so much clarity on this and that and that and that. And these are valuable things, right? And so what I'm saying is that when you're in business and all you are thinking about is money, 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 you will end up missing out of what actually brings in the money, right? You are in business to provide value for your customer, and then in essence, for that uh, value you provided for them, what they do is that they give you money in return. So you are exchanging solution, you are exchanging value. So if you are going into business and you have no valuable solution, and all you want to do is to extort money from people, you are going to be very, very disappointed, right? So you must have a solution in hand, and make sure that one thing that must continue. I was reading something the other time and I saw a very powerful quote. I can't remember the person who wrote the quote, but one thing I can remember is that the person said marketing and innovation are very important in business. Like, there are some things that you should not joke with. There are some things that will forever be there, marketing and innovation. And if you're in business, right? I'm talking about my second point now. I talked about solution, providing a solution already, but marketing and innovation, you must make sure that you are kind of building up on the idea you started with. You must be innovative. You must bring something new. You must build up. You can't stay at one spot for a long time. You must bring something new, right? And that is what helps all this conglomerate that we see today. You see them start with one idea, they are going, 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 and then you see them, they diversify, they go here, go here, go here, go here. That is the beauty of being innovative. And the truth about business is that you must continue marketing, right? Marketing is an everyday effort. Sometimes people see me do certain things, post certain things online, and they think I am just playing. No, everything I do, everything I post, it's marketing, right? I'm not marketing is not about telling people that buy. No, that is not marketing. Marketing is every effort you put into place to make your ideal consumer know that you are the one who has their solution. That is marketing. It's not about saying that come and buy, come and buy, come and buy. Yes, you can do come and buy, but you must market to a certain level, then you advertise. Then when you advertise, that means you are saying come and buy. Now, ideally, I read a couple of things about that, and then when you advertise, there is at a particular point in time, there is only a few people who are ready. We call them your hot audience. Depending on people who are listening to you, or the people who you have audience with, there's at a particular time only 3% of those people actually are your hot audiences per time, right? your only 3% of your entire audiences will be your your hot audience. Audience are people who are ready to buy. Like when I come around and I say I am selling my book for 50 cedis or 5,000 naira, the people who are ready among you who are listening to me right now, who will buy, are likely to be 3%. Now, this happens when, let's say, the funnel I used to bring you in, for example, I throw something for free. Like I did this conference for free, and you all came into the conference, and at the end of the conference, I'm selling a book for 50 Ghana cedis or 5,000 naira. The likelihood that some people will buy, I mean, the percentage that will probably buy is around 3% because I brought you in for free. Okay. Now, 97% of the people who are there may not be ready to buy it then, but because I've offered value, they may be willing to buy at a later date. That is why marketing must be continuous. So after the conference or after that initial offering, you must continue hitting them in the face. You must follow up with more marketing material. You must follow them up with more advertorial. A lot of things follow up. So marketing is every day, every day, every day. Don't get tired of marketing, and you don't have to always be saying buy, 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 buy to indicate that you're marketing. All right. You can be marketing without telling people to buy. And that is what I love more. Right. Not necessarily. I want to say buy. I want the time when I tell you to buy, you are finally ready to buy. Like I want to collect the money there and then. I want to close the deal there and then. But I want to follow you up with value. I want to nurture you and get into the space of, to be ready to buy from me. And there's one more thing I'll add when it comes to business. I would say here that when you want to go deep into business, start by selling things that people can easily buy. All right, you must understand your market and offer them something that they can easily buy, something that they can buy, something that they are purchasing power. You must know the purchasing power. That was one of the things that helped me when I released my book, my first book, Beyond the Classroom. Okay, when I started writing the book, I knew exactly the person I was writing the book for. Right? And I knew how much they can afford to pay for a book. I had a book before Beyond the Classroom, but I did not release that book because I know that book, the cost will be so high, and the people that I was writing the book for, my ideal audience won't be able to afford that book. So I delayed that, wrote a smaller book, which indeed would be a smaller cost for me, and I could sell at a very affordable rate. Then my ideal audience, that will meet their purchasing power, and so they'll be able to buy it off. That is why the book kept selling. All right. So you must know the purchasing power of your ideal audience or your market, right? Your target market, and give them something at entry level, right? At entry level. When they come for entry level, then you jump to something you call upselling, right? You upsell them to a higher offer. And you see, when you have 1,000 people in your audience, and if about 10% of them come on your entry level offer, that's about 100 people. You sell them on an offer that is very cheap, probably it's around 50 cedis, and then you bring them in, right? About 100 people. When you bring them in, you offer them massive value. Then you can then upsell them to a higher thing, right? And among those 100, probably about 10% again will go for a higher offer, right? So if you are focusing on bringing more people into your initial offer and upselling them to a higher offer, you keep making money along that chain. And that is very important. That's what people do and sell more and more and more, right? So that's very important. That's it about business mindset hacks. I don't know whether that answers your question, but that's all I can offer. I think, for now, we can follow up later privately and talk about business. The third thing is here is visibility and authority. Visibility and authority. That's a big one. You see, when it comes to visibility, then there's one thing that I can share with you here. There's one thing and one thing only. If you want to be visible, then you want to keep showing up. All right. You want people to see you, then you must show up. All right. And you must show up consistently. Okay. You can't show up today and show up after 1 month and you think that people will stick with you. No, you must show up consistently. That's the difference between people who become an authority and people who are still playing underground. All right. Visibility is very important. Your marketing message must be consistent. You are showing up every day, giving value, giving value, giving value. That is very important. That's why I said marketing is like an everyday thing. All right. You want your brand to be visible. You want to show up every day. And you want to become an authority is by showing up every day that you become an authority. People will value you. People will take you seriously if you show up every day and offer value to them. That is very important. And another way to become an authority, have authority or cement your authority on a subject matter or in a particular field, is to write a book. Right? I don't know what people think about it, but that is what I think about it. If you write a book on a subject matter, you become an authority in that subject, right? And that is why it is good that if you are playing a particular field for some time and you have kind of mastered things in that field, then it is good you write a book about it. And right now, it is not too difficult right now to write a book anymore. It is no longer difficult, right? Some of you have been in my money from ebooks class. Right now, this year, I'm stepping up that class. I'm doing an expanded edition of that class, and I'm not just talking about ebooks, but I am talking about ebooks. I'm talking about how to automate, right, so that you sleep and wake up and see that your people are buying your ebook from all parts of the world and money is coming to your account. That is what I'm scaling up to this year. So I am teaching that in my ebooks class. I'm teaching about platforms where you can publish your ebook. You want to cement your authority. If you want clients to be reaching out to you from different places, put what you know into a book, right? You are visible. You are putting out content. That's fine. But you want to kind of put that together, into a very simple ebook. Put it out there so people can be reaching out to you. When people read your ebook, they find that you can do this. Then they reach out to you for more, right? When I wrote my ebook, How to Make Money on WhatsApp last year, 2020, I started in April, and then by June I released the book. Did a webinar in June, and before I launched the book, I was invited to do a webinar for some entrepreneurs across Africa. Most of them from East Africa and South Africa, some from Nigeria as well, and few from Ghana. And when I did that webinar, after that webinar, I talked about the content of the ebook, and a lot of them reached out to me to buy the ebook. After that, some of them were retained as clients, and I coached them, consulted for their businesses and all of that, helped them set up their WhatsApp for business and all of that, helped them in other digital marketing strategies for their businesses. Very, very important. So visibility, right? Visibility by showing up consistently, it's one. But if you want to stake your things up much higher, you want to cement your authority by putting out a book. All right. When you put out a book, listen, everything you know can be written in a book, right? Whatever you know, whatever is it that you are knowledgeable about, somebody needs it, right? Somebody needs it. Whatever experience you have, whatever you might have accomplished before, it's enough knowledge or enough experience for somebody to learn from. And so you consider putting that into a book. So my expanded money from ebooks class is going to happen hopefully later this month, or I'm planning to begin by 1st February. I'm going to take that for like 30 days. All right. I'm going to teach everything about starting from writing the book, putting it together, publish on the platforms you have to publish it, how to automate the book sales, so that you won't need to, when somebody say, I want to buy your ebook, then you now come to sell to that one person. And then, no, you put it on platforms, drive engagement to that place. And then, meanwhile, you are asleep, people are buying your book, money is hitting your account. You just wake up to so many notifications on your phone and all of that. That's the beauty of creating a digital product, right? So I'll be teaching all that in my class, money from ebooks class. That is the expanded edition I'm going to be doing. I'm starting on 1st February. It's going to be 30 days. 1st February to about 2nd March 2021. I'm going to be doing that class. So watch out for that. Then you're talking about productivity enhancement. That is a major thing I want to talk about today. Productivity is something that I want to talk about, how you can be productive every day of 2021. I touched a bit on productivity within the first 2 days. I talked a bit about it. Well, before I jump to productivity, let me talk about your vision board and vision board yesterday, what I talked about yesterday. So I talked about vision statement already, right? So the vision is like an imagination, what you expect or what you plan your future to be like, what you imagine your future to be like, right? And when you come to the spiritual aspect, there's a different thing altogether. I mean, there's a different way to look at it. But I am not going into the spiritual aspect of things. I'm just focusing on the general aspect of things, where the vision. I mean, your vision is about the thing you imagine or you want to achieve in your lifetime or in your future. What you see yourself in the far future, where you see yourself, what you see yourself doing in the far future, is considered to be your vision, right? But when you come to the vision board is more of when you are looking at a particular year as 2021. Now we've started 2021 as a year. You want to achieve certain things. Those are your goals for the year, right? You want to probably get married. You want to buy a house. You want to write a book. You want to buy a car. You want to do certain things this year. Then your vision board is something that is a board, right? Okay, it's where you can actually put those images, right? You want to put your goal in front of you so that you are constantly seeing it. It is reminding your mind, it is quickening your mind that this is what you want to do. And most of the time, when we actually see some of these things on 1st January, this year is a year of prosperity. This year, this thing will happen, this will happen, this will happen. And you don't go ahead and put things in place to make these things happen. You just said it for saying sake. And at the end of the day, you have nothing to hold yourself accountable to. But when you put these things in front of you, then every waking moment, vision board is supposed to be put at a place you can see them every day, right? So when you are looking into you wake up and then you see your vision board and you had this on it, it will actually picking you that this is what you want to achieve, right? Unless you care less about it, then that's it. But if you keep seeing it, it will keep reminding you that this is what you want to achieve. And if you keep seeing it and you believe, how do I put it? If you you love to see yourself in that moment, right? You continue to enjoy the excitement of arriving at that destination, and that will be a motivation to start working on it. That is what a vision board helps you to achieve. So you put a pictorial representation of where you want to get to in this year in front of you, right? You put it in front of, so you can have a board. And I said I put it on my wall, okay, on my wall in my room. I put it on my wall like that. Sometimes there are just things I write at different places in my room, okay, and they remind me on this board, at the top of this board at my back here. I put some papers there and I wrote some things on them. You can make it pictorial, okay, and sometimes you can actually do it by writing. All right, but the thing should be there. No matter what it is, it should be there. You can read pictures of your favorite car you want to buy. You can rip it off in the magazine and put it somewhere in your room to be seeing it. Once you are seeing it, it is registering in your mind. Another way, I think I talked about that yesterday. Another way is that you can use your computer screen, your computer desktop, right? You change the background, you take the pictures of those things that you want to achieve, and you can just put them on your desktop of your computer. When you put it there, then you make it to be rotating. I mean, to change, not just once. Or you can go on Canva. If you can do graphic design on Canva, you fix all of them on one page, right? And then put it as your desktop background, all right? And when you put it on your desktop, every time if you do use your laptop quite often, as some of us do, when you open your laptop, you're going to see that thing over there. It's reminding you. You can actually use your phone home screen, get that designed nicely, and put, or it can just be a picture of something. It can be a lot of things or just one thing. You put it on your wallpaper or your home screen or your lock screen. You can put it on your WhatsApp wallpaper, wherever you want to put it. You put it there so that your eyes will have contact with it each and every day. Once you are doing that, that thing will be registering in your mind. Is somebody still here? Please let me know whether you are still here. Let me know in the comment whether I am making sense, right? Let me see you in the comment. I want to know that I'm not the only one here. Before I continue, let's drop some comments, please. The comment section is too quiet. Are some people still here? Yes. Somebody said, okay. Ephraim, he said, yes, you are with me. Thank you very much. All right. Kofi said, I'm here. All right. Guys, let's keep the comment section active. It's not easy to be somewhere talking to your computer and you alone having light in your face, talking to the computer. One-man crew. It's not easy. So once people are interacting with me in the comment section, it keeps everyone going. All right. So let's move on. We're talking about productivity today. So at the end of the day, you have set the goals, you have put everything in place. You've done your vision board, you've written down your goals for the year, you've written down your goals for January, you've put everything in place. But then the next thing is how to stay disciplined and productive every day. And I have said something like that in this conference in one of the days, that when it comes to setting goals, it is not a yearly affair. It is not just you setting goals for the year or doing something for the whole year. It is about the things you do on each of the 365 days that result in what you achieve in the entire year, right? So if you set a goal for the year and then you go to sleep, or during the other days, the days of the year, you don't do anything concerning that goal, the year will come to an end and the goal will still be there looking to your face, right? So what you want to do is that you want to now break down every goal that you set into daily chunks. Okay, every goal should be broken down into things that you can do daily. When that happens, then you have an activity every day that is going to help you in achieving your overall goal. Now, why that is so important is that, the human body is in such a way that you may not feel like doing the right thing that will help you, right? By breaking down your goal into daily chunks that you do over time, when you do that over time, and it becomes like, I love to have my goals reduced into like routines, right? There should be something that you do every time, and then it becomes like a routine to you. All right. If working on your goal becomes like a routine to you, then you have mastered your goal. You have achieved your goal, because in no time you're going to begin to see results for those goals. So the good thing about goal setting is not just about leaving it on the first day of the year, or leaving those goals very large like that. You break them down into quarters, you bring them into months, you bring them into weekly and daily activities. So it means that for every goal you set for yourself, there might be something you are doing every month, every week, every day in order to draw you closer to that goal. And so for that, it means that for every month you must have a goal, right? Every month you must have a goal. Okay, some people in the comment section, thank you. He said, keenly following you, said, that's from Aziz. And also, Luashemu says, yeah, just went to reload data. Okay, that's good. Lawrence says, following you closely. Oluwaseun, okay, he said, yes, sir. And Richard Tete said, we are with you, listening attentively. Thank you very much for your support, right? So you see, you break it down from the year to the month, you come to the week and to the daily level. Okay, so for every day you have something to do. That's why you don't wake up any day without a goal. If you wake up any day without a goal, you are missing out on achieving your goal for the year, right? So if you wake up any day, there's no goal for that day. That is why I find it offensive when people think I am just there. Like they own my time, or I have the duty to do something for them. No, right? If you have that mentality that I am free or I am just there, I feel offended. Okay, because every day everyone must have a goal. If you want to spend time with family, it's a goal you are trying to achieve, because family is a goal, right? On your goals for the year, you must even have a goal for family, goal for health, goal for relationship, right? There must be goals for that. I mean, I normally set goals like that because it's very difficult to keep in touch with family when you are trying to make money, right? In your 20s, when you are trying to hustle, it's very difficult, right? So you have a goal. Even if you are trying, even if you want to entertain yourself, there must be a limit to everything. An extra discipline in life is what helps, right? Yes, your goal must be daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. You break it down. You bring it to the down to the very smaller chunk that you can be doing without even knowing. And the best part is that your goal must be weaved into your day as a routine, right? It must even come to as a routine, something. So in my life, for instance, there are things that I do from the time I wake up. Okay, I have something like a morning routine. Okay, and I have like an evening routine. So morning routine, evening routine, these are things that you want to prioritize. Before you get deep into work, there must be routines you follow, things that you do over time and they become part and parcel of you. So very important. Every day you must have a goal. And I promised the other time that I'm not going to talk so much about having to-do list, because I don't want to force you to be so meticulous about keeping to-do lists. All right. I'm not trying to do that, but I'm going to share a bit about having goals for the day and all of that. Now, one of my people I follow, Brian Tracy, I read a lot about productivity, self-discipline. If you have not read this book, no excuses, go and read it. Right? When I finished my national service and I was about to start working, those times I didn't have a job and I was working from home on my business full time. It was really, really heavy for me, because all this while I started the business, I was doing it together with something. I was either, in school and then working alongside the business, or doing my service and then the business. But then coming to do that alone was like a lot for me. Okay. So at the time, I found it very difficult to keep a very strict schedule. So I went in for some books and some courses on productivity to study a few things that will straighten out my path so that I can do very well at that. And after that, I got a job, and then, I mean, it was very easy to balance the two to move on from there. So there are very amazing things. In one of the books I read was No Excuses by Brian Tracy. If you have not read that book, please get the book and read it. Very powerful book, right? That he talked about a number of things about having a self-disciplined life. Very important. And one of the things is that he talked about is that you must even set your goal for the day before you go to sleep the previous day. All right. So your goal for tomorrow, right, the 4th of January, you can set it be the last thing before you go to sleep today. Right? You put that goal down before you go to sleep. Don't just think about it, write it down. Have a notebook to write your goals in it. Right? You write the date, then you write the goal in it. Right? People will find you very weird for carrying a book around, a small book around, writing those things in it, but you are keeping track of what you are doing. And it's very important. Especially if you have a lot to do, you must have things in order. So you have a goal for every day you wake up and you don't have a goal, know that you are missing out on the entire goal for the year. So have a goal for every day. You wake up, there must be a goal. And this is what I must do. If you couldn't do it the previous night, when you wake up in the morning, make sure you do it before you start anything else. Write down the goal that you want to achieve. The next thing you must do after writing down the goal is that you must write down in the order of priority what you want to do that day. So Brian Tracy advises that, and it's something I've also been doing. At the beginning, I didn't find it so interesting, but as I continued, I began to do it and it started working for me, right? So for everything you write down that, okay, This is what you want to do. Probably you have like three things you want to do that day. And one thing I would advise is that don't actually uh, try to write down a lot of things to accomplish in a particular day. You have so many days to achieve a lot. So please keep it very simple. I advise that probably 3 to 5 things is okay. More than five is kind of like a lot, right? And so you put major things you want to do in the day, and then you want to keep a priority list. All right, so you assign letters to it. So ABC, for example, ABC, that's what branches advice is. So A is for the most important task, one thing that you want to do. And at the end of the day, when you're looking at your goal or your book, your small notebook, at the end of the day, probably by 9 p.m. when you're retiring to bed, you look at your paper and you realize that, oh, because I have done this thing, I mean, you feel happy that you have accomplished something in that day, right? When you, that particular thing that you want to do to say that, oh, I have done well today, that must be your number one. That must be your A list. That must be your A goal on that day. The A that one is something that you prioritize very much. Is the number one thing you want to accomplish. Then you come to the B, which is the less important, equally important, but it must be done after the A. Then you go to B, you rank them like that, C, D in that order, right? And the what is advised is that you start from the A. Start with the most difficult things. If you wake up, the best hours for most people is the early hours of the day, right? Some people work very well at night, but it is advised that you do your best work when you are healthy after a healthy breakfast. You start very early, right? And let me chip in this before you even get started on your day. As part of your routine, I advise, and I also do this a lot, that before you even start working on your goal, one of the things that you must put into your routine is your self-development. I normally say this, that you have 24 hours, and whilst you have 24 hours, you can divide 24 into 3 parts with 8 hours each. Now, one part, which is 8 hours, the first 8 hours of one of the 8 hours is for your job, right? One of the 8 hours is for sleep and your health. So the time you sleep, probably for 6 hours or for 7 hours, and then part of that is for your health, whether you are doing exercise, and for your spiritual health as well. So your meditation, your prayer time, your quiet time, everything goes into one of the 6 hours, right? Your sleep, make sure your body has rested enough. That's also for your health. Your spiritual life also matters. Your meditation, your prayer, your quiet time, your Bible studies, and everything also counts in that 8 hours, right? Then you have another 8 hours for your job. So if you have a job, you have a 9 to 5, you have a business you run, that is for your job. What you do during the day, what you do to pay the bills, that is your job. But then there's another 8 hours. So we have just talked about first 8, second 8. As a third 8 hours that most people use to watch television and to do all kinds of unnecessary things, right? That final 8 hours is what you use to invest into your future. And one of the things I want to share here in this conference is that you must not just be doing something for today alone. You must be investing into your future. If you are here and you have just a job, all right, you have just a job, and it's good to have a job, and you have only that job and nothing else. You go to work, okay, at 8, you come back at 5 p.m., you come and you eat and you sit on the couch and you watch television, and it's 10, 11 p.m., you go and sleep and wake up the next morning and repeat. You are wasting your life, right? I must be sincere with you. You are wasting your life. I was only 8 years old when I started a business. And for all my life through school, I have been doing something on the side. And right now, I can't keep any job that does not even allow me to do something on the side. No. All right. I can't do a job that will not allow me to do anything on the side. No. Even when I was doing one of the busiest jobs I did in 2019 While I was doing that job, I was still running my business on the side. I was still writing a book. I remember I had to commit for 1 hour to get to work, right? And every morning while I'm going to work, I'm writing on my phone. By the time I did that work for like 1 month, I had written one book. And that book's title is Write Like a Pro. I sold it last year. Okay? So you must have that, all these 8 hours must be used very well. The final 8 is about investing into your future. The second one is about your current situation. So something to pay the bills must be there. Money coming in to pay that's your job. That's your 9 to 5. But there must be an extra thing that will bring in, that will serve you the future. All right. And talking about your the first 8 hours, that's when I want to chip in something about your personal development. Most people, when you wake up, you do not actually do anything to feed your soul, to feed your spirit, to put something into you before you step out. All right, it is very dangerous to do that. You repeat this process every time, and then over time you realize that there is no growth, there is no personal growth. It is very wrong. When you wake up, right, there must be adequate time for you to invest in yourself, either by prayer, by reading, right? And right now there is even there are different ways to invest in yourself. There are different ways. You can even choose to listen to an audio book. So whilst you are on the go, when you see me anytime I'm on the go, there is always I have something in my ears. I'm listening to an audio book. I'm either listening to something that is inspirational, right? To grow yourself every time. So probably you are committing to work. That time is enough for you to put something into your ear and listen to an audio book. Whilst you're committing to work, it's a good time for you to pick up a book to be reading. Very important. You do not start your day without, first of all, investing in yourself, because whatever you have invested in yourself comes out during the day. It comes out later on. You invest quality time taking care of yourself, investing in knowledge, it comes back to you. All right. So very important. These are some of the things you must put into your day. Set priorities. I talked about that. You must start with the most important thing. Don't start with the easiest thing, right? Leave the easiest ones for the time you are tired. Around when you start working, normally for me, I do the most difficult work from when I start work till like maybe around 10, 11, right? So that is where I do the most difficult, because that's when I'm most active. All right. Then in the afternoon, when you are already tired, then you can do the less difficult work. Very important. Also, one thing I also touch on when it comes to productivity is that do not multitask. When I was in the university, let me tell you this story. When I was in the university, I was really proud of myself because I could actually multitask. Like I could be doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. I was really proud of myself until I realized that is total foolishness. Okay, multitasking is really I would say it's childish to do that. You want to give total focus to anything that you embrace to do. All right. You can't open your phone while testing somebody and you are doing serious work, or you are listening to an audio book and you are still doing typing or whatever. No, give absolute focus to one thing per time. When you're done, when you are reading, you are reading. When you are watching TV, you are watching TV. I am very bad at having a very noisy environment and still maintaining my focus. People tell me when I complain about people talking around and whilst I'm reading or doing something, I complain, say, oh, why can't you still read whilst we are here? Why can't you learn in a very noisy environment? You should be able to do that. Why can't you sleep where there is noise? I can't do that because I like to take one thing at a time. I like the quiet place to do what I want to do. It is very important to keep your focus on one thing. Take one thing, do it, and move on. Take one thing, do it, and then move on, right? It is ideal that for even one day, take one goal, maximum two, right? For one day, you crush it, you go to the next. It's better to load your day with about 5 different things, like goals to achieve, and then you are not able to achieve even one of them, than you pick one thing and do it very well, then you move on from there. So very important. These are some of the things I would like to share when it comes to productivity. Remember what Abraham Lincoln said. I think it's Abraham Lincoln who said that. Yeah, he said if you were given about 7 hours to chop down a tree, you will spend the first 6 sharpening the axe. Very important. You want to have the best of the day. Don't ignore that time of planning the day. You want to have the best time of your day. Don't think that time of writing down your goal and your to-do list for the day is waste of time. No, don't think that. If you do that, then you are not sharpening the axe. Then you go and take a blunt axe to be chopping down the tree, and you spend a lot of time on that. But when you plan meticulously, then you are able to execute very well. Okay, so that is what I have to share with you. Any more questions, please drop them in the comment section. I think today we have done more than the time. We have done more than we have done in all the first and second sessions that we had. Today we have done more than 50 minutes. So please let's put our questions forth. Let's round up and we go. Okay. If you have any questions, please do ask right now. I want to round this up by 55 minutes. So we have 4 minutes more. Yes, so focus on one per time. All right. Okay. Focus on one thing per time. Don't try to overload yourself. Don't try to overload yourself. Don't try to do too much. You're not impressing anybody by having too many things to do. All right. Somebody said, I like multitasking a lot. Right now, my brain is very tired. I have been doing this since I was at secondary school. Now, the consequences have started showing up. Yes. You see, I've realized that I think I was about leaving university when I realized that multitasking wasn't good. I have always been multitasking. And to me, I felt like it was an act of brilliance. When you are brilliant, then you are able to juggle things. You are able to juggle things, 2 or 3 things at the same time. That is you are sharp, smart guy. But actually, that is wrong. It is actually wrong to be doing too many things at the same time. Focus on one thing. Focus. That is what growing up will teach you, right? So please, multitasking is not a good thing. It is not a good thing. Focusing on one thing per time is rather a much better thing to do. Okay. So I've learned my lesson. I hope you also learned yours today. Thank you very much. Ephraim, you said, thank you very much. It's clear and straightforward. Thank you too for joining. You have any more questions? I have 2 more minutes before I wrap up this. So you have a question, please make that typing very fast. Make it very fast. Make it very fast so we answer your question before we go. As this said, the best way to achieve much is to do one thing at a time. Right, that is true. Right? Want to achieve much, you do one thing at a time. When you're done, you move on to the next. And one of the ways that helps you is that you are motivated to move on, because once you have been able to accomplish something, yeah. So don't put 25 books to read in this January. No, pick one. In fact, pick a very small book. When you are done reading, you have a motivation to read another one. All right, you move on like that. Focus on. Don't be reading 3 books at the same time. No, take one book and read. When you are done, you start from there. You move on, right? So Kofi said, now it is difficult to focus on one. Any advice? Yes. So I think what you can do is that try to declutter your environment. That's one way to start. Declutter your environment. Don't keep other things around you whilst you are doing something. All right? Don't keep other things around you. Okay? Don't keep other things around you whilst you are doing something that you want to focus on. So declutter environment. Make the environment, keep an organized environment. Start with that. Keep a very organized environment. Start with one thing. All right. And once you declutter, there's nothing around to distract you. You focus on that, and you can time yourself. Instead of trying to do one thing to finish it before you start another one, you can try to say that to actually reduce your multitasking. You can say for every task you want to do it for 1 hour, right? So you take one task, you do it for 1 hour, all right, or maybe 30 minutes. Once you are done, then you move on to another one for the same time. Once you are done, the time is over, you move on to another one. So instead of jumbling everything up together, you actually take them, you know, for a small amount of time. Then you finish, you completely put that away. Take this. So the next day, you just go and pick up whatever you have, whatever you've stopped with that one. You pick it up and then continue from where you stopped, like that. Instead of doing different things at the same time, you rather take them one after the other in small chunks. I think that will help. Okay, thank you very much. So Oluwaseun says, how can you handle when someone has many skills by finding hard to know which one to do? So you are lucky to have so many skills, but you see, the world actually would not recognize someone with so many skills, but the world will recognize someone who has mastered their skill, right? And I believe that the skills that you have they must come together as one. Okay. Someone said I do read 3 books together. I'll talk about that. Talk about reading books together anyway. Okay. So let me finish with the skills issue. Okay. So when you have I call something related skills. For example, I do copywriting, I do video editing, I do videos myself like this, and a little bit of graphics and all of that. Now, all those skills come together to have you want to do digital production, digital content. All these things, these skills kind of marry one another, right? That is important. You want to find a way of marrying some of your skills. See whether this and this and this and this can connect. If they can connect, you are in the right place. Then you can now start dishing out those skills together as one. All right. And so, but for now, what I can tell you is that focus and master one of those skills. Build one of them and become a master. Okay, when you are a master, you get to be paid more. Okay, so imagine I am invited to speak at a conference, and then Brian Tracy is also invited to speak at that conference. Okay, and we are both supposed to speak for 30 minutes, and then they are paying me $1,000 to come and speak. Do you think they will pay Brian Tracy also $30 to come and speak? No, they will pay him much, much more. They will pay him probably 100 times the amount they have paid me, because he has mastered his skill. All right. He has taken his time to master his skill. He's at that level where he has mastered. So it is good to master your skill. One of the good things that mastering your skill does to you is that you get paid more. There's more value for your time when you master the skill very well. There's more value for your time. So people pay you more for it. So please master your skill. So about 3 books at a time. I do that as well sometimes. There are some times where I want to, especially in January, where I want to double up on my reading. What I do is that I have a book that I will read just 1 chapter a day. Sometimes I have a number of pages I read a day, and there are some smaller books that I will read, more of those books a day. So I have number of pages or some number of chapters for different books. So one might be a spiritual book, and the other one might be a personal development book. Then the third one could be a business book. So I kind of sometimes do that, but not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes I just want to focus on something and do it. And the one way I've been able to do away with reading more books at a time is to now double down on listening to inspirational audios. Okay, listening to podcasts, listening to watching YouTube videos, that kind of thing. It has actually brought down how much time I spend on reading books, because when I go and listen to a TED talk by the person who wrote the book about what he wrote the book about, or watch a few of his videos, then I kind of get what they want to say in the book. Then that reduces the time I have to spend on reading 3 books at a time. So more on audiovisual content, get a summary and the things about what I really need to learn. Then I kind of spend less time reading books, right? That is my personal strategy I'm using right now. But I don't know, but I don't advise that you read multiple books at a time, please. Not all the time. You can do it once in a while, but not all the time, right. All right, so let me be fast on the questions. There's another one coming in. As a student, what if I set my goals for the day and then there's a shift in the school's timetable, or what the school's time? So yeah, there are unforeseen circumstances that always rise up every time you set your goals. There's something that comes up. That is why I have said earlier that you don't have to pack up your day, right? You should leave time for some things to also come in. All right. So maximum you have 1 or 2 goals you want to accomplish that day. All right. Maximum 3. All right. Maximum 3. Okay. So you have those goals, and so there should be time, some leisure on that day. There should be time. There should be leisure. There should be some time that you don't pack up the entire day, so that if there is something that comes in, of course, you can make way for it and then readjust another time. So it's very important that you don't really pack up your day, and it's very good for students because you already have a timetable to work with. So it's like your day is pretty much structured already by the school. So all you need to do is to align to that and fix your other things here and there, and that is it. So it's very cool. For those who have work and other things, business and other things, and people who are solopreneurs and doing their own thing, they have the biggest challenge to manage their time. But if you are a student or you work in a company and then everything is pretty much structured, you have some form of schedule to follow already, right? And so you just need to align to that and then go. And you don't need to add more of your own stuff to it. You just make sure the time you are spending there, you're listening to do the right things, so that at the end of the day you accomplish the things you need to accomplish for that particular day, right? So good. Okay. Mr. Architect said, one at a time, motivating. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you very much, and God bless you too. Then Oluwaseun says again, please can you suggest relevant skills in this age? Of course, copywriting is one of the major skills of this age. I was glad that I learned copywriting last year. One of the major skills. I spent a lot of time acquiring that skill last year. It has really, really, really helped me. So copywriting, of course, I'll talk about sales, very important skill. I'll talk about, if you can, digital marketing, and if you can also programming, yeah, is one of the important skills of the day. Okay, so just those 3: sales, digital marketing, copywriting, programming. These I want to also bring in here a caveat that not every skill is just good for everybody. You must also look at the kind of skills that you are really passionate about or can really help you in your line of work. Then you go in for those skills, right? It is not just that you want to jump in everywhere, acquire certain skills. No. Okay, when I started going to digital marketing, started producing content, then I realized that as a writer, I was doing all that. I realized that no, texting, writing articles wasn't really doing the thing for me anymore. I needed to do video. Then I moved to video. I started learning about YouTube. I started learning about video production. video editing, all right. And then copywriting came in, and copywriting helped me because when you are doing video, you must script your video, all right. You must script your video, and it's just your copy is just the same thing that you say. As you say it, people get are hooked to the content and all of that. So copywriting came in, video editing, and the next thing I'm going to learn a bit of more. I'm going to double down on video editing a lot, and camera operation, and more about video production a lot more, because video is becoming a big thing in 2021. So yes, video editing as well. So yeah, he said I love sales, marketing, and digital marketing. Of course, that's really, really important. So guys, we have gone over 10 minutes above the time limit, but I really want to appreciate all of you. I will be in touch on WhatsApp. If you have any more questions, you can ask on WhatsApp. I'm thinking about scaling our conversation for these 3 days, whether we can have some form of long-term mentorship for the year, some membership group or stuff like that. That would be really, really interesting. I will think about it, look into my schedule, and whatever it is, I will get back to you all on WhatsApp. You all are in a particular list on WhatsApp, so I will get back to you on that, and we'll see. People are still asking questions, I must tell you. People don't want us to close. Digital marketing is different from social media marketing. I know it is not the order of the day, but if you can put light on it, I will love it. Okay, so digital marketing is like the bigger umbrella. Social media marketing is under digital marketing. All right. So social media is like this is like the entire online space is the digital space. All right. And part of that is social media. And there are other parts of the digital space. There are other parts. There are websites, there are apps. All right. Good. Somebody said it in the comment section. It says social media is a segment of digital marketing, right? So there are other aspects. There are mobile applications, right? There are websites, and there are other things that form the digital space where we can market our stuff. Okay. Social media is just a part of it. Okay. So he said, I know it is not the order of the day, but if you can throw light on it, I will love it. So yeah, so that's what I've said. Digital marketing is a bigger thing. Okay, social media is just a part of it. And if you want to go into that, I think you can reach out to me private, because there are people right here who are not interested in all this tech talk. So you want to get into me privately, let's talk about that. That's fine. Okay. So there are some skills that require other skills. Of course, every hard skill requires some soft skills. Okay, every hard skill requires some soft skills. So if you want to do well, you must also focus on getting soft skills. All right, skills like to be disciplined may not look like a skill, but it is important for you to achieve certain things. For example, for me to work with someone, I look out for people who are disciplined, who are organized. These are soft things, but you might be a very skilled programmer, but if you lack discipline, if you lack time management, if you lack some soft skills, I may not be able to work with you because you lack those skills. So very important. Some skills require other skills. That's true. There are some skills that they have other components in it. Even apart from the soft skills I talked about, there are some individual skills. For example, I talked about content creation, right? To be a content creator, there are a lot of other skills that come into it. Graphic design, definitely somewhere in between. Video editing, somewhere in between. Copywriting, content marketing, all those things come. Digital marketing comes in there somewhere, right? So these are skills that require other skills. So that is why I say, Oluwaseun, you can aggregate your skills and see how many of them do come together, and then boom, you can work on that and then see how to move. So guys, thank you very much. I think this is where I'll end it. I really appreciate all your questions, and if there's anything you lack clarity, you can reach out to me again on WhatsApp. You can talk about that, right? So thank you again, and then We'll be in touch. This is the end of Start Right Conference 2021. I hope you have a very great year. Once again, a happy new year for you, and I'll be available to help you achieve your goals this year. And I believe that God is available for all of us. And so, as you set your goals, don't forget to call on Him, and He will help you to achieve your goals. And don't forget to do your part as well. Right? Thank you, and God bless you all. Bye bye.